China, one of the world's oldest and most enduring civilizations. With a history stretching back over 5,000 years, it has been home to powerful dynasties, world-changing inventions, and breathtaking transformations. From the legendary emperors of antiquity to the gleaming skyscrapers of today, China's story is one of epic scale and profound influence. So in the next 10 minutes, let's embark on a whirlwind journey through the fascinating, complex, and captivating history of China. Our story begins in the fertile basin of the Yellow River, a region often called the cradle of Chinese civilization. It was here that early settlements grew into the first dynasties. While the Xia dynasty is shrouded in legend, it is traditionally considered China's first. It was followed by the Shang dynasty, which left behind an incredible legacy of intricate bronze artifacts and, most importantly, oracle bones. These bones, used for divination, contain the earliest known form of Chinese writing, the ancestor of the characters used today. After the Shang came the long-reigning Zhou dynasty. The Zhou introduced a crucial political and philosophical concept: the mandate of heaven. This was the belief that a ruler's right to govern was granted by the heavens, but this divine approval was not permanent. If a ruler became unjust or incompetent, they could lose the mandate, justifying rebellion and the rise of a new dynasty. This idea would shape Chinese politics for millennia to come. For centuries, China was a patchwork of warring states, each vying for supremacy. This chaotic period finally came to an end in 221 BCE, when the ambitious and ruthless leader of the Qin state conquered his rivals and unified the land. He declared himself Huang, the first emperor of China. His reign, though brief, was transformative. To consolidate his power and create a unified empire, he standardized everything from currency and measurements to the width of cart axles, and crucially, the written script. This created a common cultural foundation for the vast new empire. He also began one of the most ambitious construction projects in human history, connecting existing fortifications to form the first version of the Great Wall. Though his dynasty was short-lived and known for its harsh rule, Huang laid the essential groundwork for 2,000 years of imperial China. Following the collapse of the Qin, the Han dynasty rose to power, ushering in a golden age of prosperity, stability, and innovation. This era was so influential that the majority ethnic group in China still refers to themselves as the Han people today. During the Han dynasty, one of the most significant inventions in history was developed: paper. This revolutionized communication and record-keeping. Confucianism, with its emphasis on ethics, family, and social harmony, was established as the state ideology, profoundly shaping Chinese culture and governance. Perhaps most famously, the Han dynasty opened up the legendary Silk Road. This network of trade routes connected China to Central Asia, the Middle East, and even the Roman Empire. Silk, spices, and other goods flowed west, while new ideas, technologies, and cultures traveled east, making China a vibrant hub of global exchange. After the Han, China experienced periods of division before being reunified under the Tang dynasty, another spectacular high point in Chinese history. The Tang era is celebrated as a cosmopolitan golden age of culture. Its capital, Chang'an, was one of the largest and most diverse cities in the world. Poetry and art flourished, with figures like Li Bai and Du Fu composing some of the most celebrated poems in the Chinese language. Following the Tang, the Song dynasty took the helm. While militarily weaker, the Song dynasty was a period of incredible technological and economic advancement. It was during this time that three revolutionary inventions were refined and widely used: movable type printing, which made books and knowledge more accessible; gunpowder, which would forever change warfare; and the magnetic compass, which revolutionized navigation. These Song dynasty innovations would eventually spread across the globe, fundamentally changing the course of world history. In the 13th century, a formidable force emerged from the north: the Mongols. Led by Genghis Khan and his successors, they built the largest contiguous land empire in history. His grandson, Kublai Khan, completed the conquest of China and established the Yuan dynasty. For the first time, all of China was ruled by a foreign power. The Mongol Empire's vast reach created an era of unprecedented connectivity, often called the Pax Mongolica, or Mongol Peace. Trade and communication between East and West flourished like never before, and famous travelers like Marco Polo journeyed to China, bringing back incredible stories of its wealth and sophistication to a fascinated Europe. After nearly a century of Mongol rule, a rebellion led to their overthrow and the establishment of the Ming Dynasty, which restored native Chinese governance. The Ming emperors sought to project an image of power and splendor. They constructed the magnificent Forbidden City in Beijing, which served as the imperial palace and the heart of Chinese government for 500 years. The Ming Dynasty is also famous for the monumental naval expeditions led by Admiral Zhou. His enormous treasure ships, far larger than any European vessels of the time, sailed across the Indian Ocean, reaching as far as the coasts of Asia and Africa, demonstrating China's immense maritime power. The Great Wall was also heavily fortified and rebuilt during this era, creating the iconic structure we know today. The Ming Dynasty eventually weakened and was overthrown by invaders from the northeast, the Manchu, who established China's final imperial dynasty, the Qing. The Qing dynasty expanded the empire to its greatest territorial extent, incorporating regions like Tibet, Xinjiang, and Mongolia. For a time, the empire was prosperous and stable. However, by the 19th century, the Qing faced immense challenges. Internally, there were widespread rebellions and social unrest. Externally, technologically superior Western powers were pressuring China to open its doors to trade, leading to conflicts like the Opium Wars. The dynasty struggled to modernize and adapt to these new global pressures. By 1912, a revolution brought an end to the Qing dynasty, concluding over 2,000 years of imperial rule in China. The fall of the last emperor ushered in a new but incredibly turbulent era. The Republic of China was founded, but the young nation was immediately plagued by instability. Power became fragmented, with regional warlords controlling large parts of the country. This was followed by a devastating invasion by Japan during World War II. At the same time, a bitter civil war was raging between the ruling Nationalist Party, the Kuomintang, and the growing Communist Party. This period of conflict and suffering would ultimately decide the future path of the nation. In 1949, the Civil War ended with a communist victory, and Mao Zedong declared the founding of the People's Republic of China. In the decades since, China has undergone one of the most rapid and dramatic transformations in human history. Following a period of radical policies and isolation, the country embarked on a path of economic reform and opening up to the world. Today, China has re-emerged as a global superpower. Its landscape is a stunning blend of ancient tradition and hypermodernity, where historic temples stand in the shadow of towering skyscrapers, and the world's fastest high-speed trains connect sprawling megacities. From the legendary beginnings along the Yellow River to its place on the modern world stage, the history of China is a continuous epic of resilience, innovation, and constant change. It's a civilization that has shaped our world in countless ways and continues to do so today. Thank you so much for joining us on this quick journey through time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more history in minutes. See you next time.